So this lesson, we're going to look at question 6 on mean, median, and mode. So word problems can be a little tricky. So let's look what we have here. Dunk Mustaf played in 7 basketball games. Altogether, he scored 77 field goals, 2 points each, and 11 free throws, 1 point each. Find the mean number of points Dunk scored per game. So one of our key things is what we're looking for, which is the mean, or in other words, points per game, or what he scored per game. So the unknown in this problem is the mean, or in other words, the points per game. That's what we don't know. From there, we have to figure out, well, what do we know? Well, he played in 7 games, so 7 games played, we know that. So that's something we know. And from there, we know that he scored 77 field goals that were worth 2 points apiece. So if we see that, it's 77 field goals worth 2 points each. So in other words, that's 77 times 2. So if we do that math, 77, let's see if we get my guy out of the way here, 77 times 2. I can't see my math here. There we go. I have to hide me. So that's going to be 154 points there. So in 7 games, he scored 154 points out of field goals. And then he scored 11 free throws, 1 point each. So 11 free throws would basically just mean 11 more points. So altogether, we know in 7 games, he scored 165 points in 7 games. That's what we know, that information. So the relationship again is, how does this math work? How does all these numbers come together? Well, remember, mean can be determined by adding all the scores from 7 games and dividing it by the number of games. But really what they did for us, though, is they did the work for us. Is we have to figure out the total points, and then we divide it by games played, basically. So that's kind of the relationship we have. Is mean is the total points. So game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, game 6, game 7, how many points are scored all together. And then you divide it by the number of games played, which is 7. So this is a place you could pause the video and see if you can work the problem out. And then I'll come back and actually finish out the work. So if you want, again, just pause, work, and then come back and see if you can do this problem on your own. And you can just check it with my work. So what we basically come up with then is the relationship is, the total points over 7 games is the 165, and we divide that by 7. And we can do that using a calculator. 165 divided by 7 gives us then 23.57. And look at our answers. Looks like the answers are all rounded to the nearest 10th. So I'd have to round the 10th place. And since the 7 is more than 5 or more, we know that the 5 has to actually round up to a 6. So that rounds into 23.6 points per game is what that ends up being. And so it looks like that's going to fall in with this AT area. 23.6. Looks like that would be it. So hopefully that helps you understand number 6. So again, in word problems, you have the unknown. That's usually the last part of the question. You know, what are we looking for? That's the last part. The knowns are the facts that they give us in the problem. So 7 games were played, and then they gave us a bunch of points, and then we had to figure out how this math went together. And that's where the mean comes in. Mean is the total of points altogether, and then you're going to divide it by the number of games played. So 165 points were played. 165 points were scored altogether, and you divide that by 7 games, and that gives you 23.6 points per game.